Houston. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Here we go. 52's the mic, boys. 52.
On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. So this defense for the Jags, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Operating from the gun. Strong. That's caught. He finds Danny Gray. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
5-2's the mic.
1st and 10, it's Pierce. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. The Texans at 5-4 now on the year, and they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
Now a throw here, hauled in. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series, they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Pierce will try to pick it up. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Hey, check Mike 33.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Josh Allen, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Operating from the gun. Strong. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And it's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, CD, these two teams barely off the buses, and this defense already has a sack and now the interception and the pick 6 to take the lead.
Partner, you'd have to think that this was part of their game plan coming in because they wanted to embrace an aggressive mindset and attack on defense. They were trying to force that quick miscue, and I would say that their plan worked to perfection.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
Oh, it certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off, they'll be sluggish coming into this game. So I've heard that he spent more time in practice working what they call good versus good, starting offense versus starting defense. They want a fast start in this next game.
Flush to his right. Open man downfield is Lamb. It's complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Hand off left side, Pierce. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
We gotta step it up.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down.
Right here, right here. Mike, check 33. Check.
Looking to throw. Strong. He'll find Nwangu underneath, and he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Exit.
Give left side for Pierce.
Let's go, D.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Off play action. Strong. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's Devin Lloyd with a pick. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Charles, it's now a 2-touchdown lead in the opening quarter. Following that pick six, they are off to a fast start in this one.
And absolutely ecstatic on the sideline after that play, aren't they? Not just because they've got the lead, but how about seeing one of their guys get a chance to take it in for 6? Already up a pair of touchdowns. They've got everything going their way early on.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. He will return this from deep in the end zone, and he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Off the play fake. Strong. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
And now the up man has it. It's a fake. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. I know, without even asking, without even looking in your direction, that you are not a fan of that call.
Oh, I wish you had looked, Brandon, because I was actually thinking this would be the perfect time for a fake.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. This doesn't make any sense to me at all. This deep in your own territory. Look, I'm all for being unconventional. That part's cool, and I get it. But this deep, I just don't think it was the right time to make that call.
On the set. Mike, boy, 47. Check, 47.
Pick it up. Pick it up.
Sponge. No.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level. And sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. Eight yards to go on 2nd down.
Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go.
Team 6. 91 is the mic. Keep it up, defense.
Here's Lawrence. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Oh, you got deep? Check 26. Check 26. Bullet high.
And they'll run with Etienne. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
Once more Etienne, but he will go backwards as he stopped for a loss. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
We're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Bravo. Mike 47. Check Mike 47. Don't let him breathe. Don't let him breathe.
Now Lawrence.
Don't let him breathe.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And the Texans will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Mike 5-2, Mike 5-2. Watch the pass.
Mike 52, Mike 52.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's Devin Lloyd with a pick. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up first and goal. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Give him 3 on the gain there, second and goal. Etienne is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Clear.
Oh, now a running play here with Smith. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great effort there. His first rushing touchdown of the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you
don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Mike 54. All day, baby. All day, all day.
To throw on second down. Strong. He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Andre Sisco. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great play there, with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jags are able to widen their lead here in this first half. point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah,
and now here is another interception. Picked off by Foyesade Oluwakin. And the Jaguars are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. Now ETN to start the drive. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch tight end. Odd. 3 down. Odd.
Check 91.
And they'll go again with ETN. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They go play action now. Lawrence. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there. And now 4th down. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. A 55-yard punt that time with a return of about 14. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Off the bootleg. Strong. Oh, a strip. The ball comes out. And the offense does cover this one, but back inside their own 5-yard line. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Straight ahead, here's Nwangu. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? It's a pickup of 7, and it is also the final play of the first half. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. And this will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
On second down, Etienne once more. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
They'll run with Etienne. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 47 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45.
Pick it up, D. Mike's 47.
Etienne once more. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Etienne up the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he is going to have a Jags first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Move.
Straight ahead, Etienne. Yeah, maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Watch the run. Watch the run. 4-7's a Mike. 4-7's a Mike.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
Running out of the gun with Etienne. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
47. Here we go.
On second down, a run with Etienne. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Trash. Let's go. 47's the Mike.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. Being chased out left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And that was just situational football 101 right there. Excellent decision to throw that one away. You know he would have loved to have converted right there to keep the pressure on and build on this lead. But the best play, avoid the sack, taking care of the football.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And he returns this to the 22. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Up the middle, Nwangu. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 38-yard line. Operating from the gun, Strong. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
They'll set up the screen for Nwangu. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game, and on that last play, they actually went in reverse. I think this crowd...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans.
Danny Gray.
41 yards.
And the Texans' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that will shave a bit off the lead as it's down to a 23-point game. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses them about 4 yards.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Another tote for Etienne.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
And they will score a pick-6 for the Texans TD. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And the pick six we just saw makes things a little more interesting. Still, though, a two-possession game as they control their destiny in this fourth quarter. And this will be a Jaguars first down as he's able to take this up to the 30-yard line. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Down the right sideline, and they're going to get this down inside the 20. From up here in the booth, looked like he started to make his cut into the middle of the field right as that ball was being released. That's how you draw it up.
Exactly how you draw it up, but you don't often get that result because that means absolute confidence from both the receiver and the quarterback to know both will be in the spot they're supposed to be.
Here's a give to Etienne, and he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 2nd and 9, Lawrence. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Christian Harris. 30. 10, and they will score a pick six for the Texans TD. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal, but in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And now this fourth quarter becoming very interesting. That pick six makes this a one-score game. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how aggressive they choose to be. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
Check 91. 91 is the mic.
On 2nd down, Etienne once more. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 105 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Ready, set.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
Lawrence running right on the option. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
It's more coming. It's more where I came from.
Ready.
Mike, 47's the mic. Hey, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Hey, check Mike 47. Check Mike 47.
Lawrence giving to ETN here on the option.
Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
You'll forgive me if I get excited about what we just saw there, won't you? I know I'm supposed to be neutral here, but those were terrific plays back-to-back defensively. They know what the mission is. They've got to force a punt here if they want to have a chance to win the game.
They absolutely do. Steps 1 and 2 done. Now they need this third step. This offense so far on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6.
Mike 91. I got it.
Now Lawrence to throw. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Well, based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, the defense got its job done, forcing the punt. Now the formula pretty simple. They need to find the end zone here. A field goal doesn't help them much. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw again. Strong. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They face a critical third down now, needing a score here in the late going.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
52's the Mike. Watch Mike. Watch Mike.
Here we go. Here we go.
Back to throw.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. A handoff for ETN.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Mike, boy, 47. Check, 47.
Get him. Get him. Get him. Check safety. Check safety.
And they'll run here with ETN.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, here's ETN.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So,
and this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked off by Tyson Campbell, and the Jaguars are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along. If you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball.
Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
61, match box, light.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So this will be a win for Jacksonville.
Charles, for this losing side, their heads are hanging as they walk off the field today. And really, I mean, we know why. Those 3 turnovers by that offense, that's ultimately what doomed them.
And this is what coaches preach all the time to every team that we ever talk with. Taking care of the ball on offense, trying to take it away on defense. And let's face it, when you give it away 3 times in one game, you make it very difficult for your team to get the W.
So for Jacksonville, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Houston, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.